Good day, podcast community. Pete Kane here, Podcast Pete and certified high performance coach. Marketing matters. What's the difference between assets and activities? It's the difference between night and day. And if you know the difference, you'll build a thriving business. You'll have an abundant future, but you have to know the difference. Let me explain, and I want to give you something, an opportunity to schedule a clarity session, because if you're clear going into next year, your business will be thriving. You'll have the most abundant future, because this distinction is the difference in your business growing and being flatlined or going out of business. Okay, assets. Assets are this right here. I'm creating an asset, a podcast that will always be there, doesn't go away. An activity goes away. Let's say you go to a networking event or a BNI. It's a great example. Good at relationship building, but you got to know, you got to value your time. Your time is the most precious thing you have. If you're not valuing your time, you'll do more activities. Let's say you go to the BNI meeting, last an hour, spend a little time driving there, driving back, spending time getting to know somebody afterwards. Maybe you spend 2-3 hours. I could do 5 podcasts in those 3 hours. That's creating 5 assets that never go away. After the meeting's over, it's done. Nobody even knows you went, but the people there with you. So if you're playing in the local sandbox, which is what a lot of people mistakenly do, they're creating activities. They're going to all these networking events. Once they're over, they're over. And you're looking like maybe you get a lead, maybe you don't, but it's over. Now, if you're playing the asset game, you're playing in the 80% sandbox, the big global sandbox. Here's why it's so important. You can search my name, put the word podcast, because I've done about 500 of them. Got 9 courses. I've been doing it enough that I have assets out there. I will dominate 5 pages of Google. If you went 3 years of BNI meetings and that's all you did, you have nothing. You don't even have, maybe you have 1 or 2 things on Google. Maybe your LinkedIn, maybe your website, maybe your BNI profile. That's it. You compare my profile to yours, you create assets, you will not dominate the online world. You have to be thinking of assets. Assets will make your job, your company grow 10 times faster, because assets don't go away. I have videos I did 10 years ago. They're still up there. But are my meetings, my activities I went to over the years out there? No, they're not. That's why know the difference of what you're doing. Now, there's no problem with going to these events, but if you're thinking you're going to grow your business, do you think you're going to get the most out of your marketing? You're not focused on the right thing. So focus on assets. 9 online programs, online courses I have. They all support being a key person of influence online. 9. Most don't have 1 because you're focusing on activities. Assets will always win by 10, 20-fold. So you want an abundant future next year? Create an online presence. Be a key person of influence online. Let me give you another tip, another insight that I want you to think about. Let's say you have a moving company and you want to expand into Birmingham, and you've never created any content online. You've only focused on your local area, say Atlanta, and you go into Birmingham, you got to start from scratch. You got to start meeting the people. You start connecting, building relationships. Now let's do it a different way. Let's start by being a key person of influence, creating assets, and doing it from day one. Now you go over to Birmingham and somebody meets you and you tell them, very curious, I help people move in a more peaceful way. Whatever you say, you build curiosity. You always want to build curiosity when somebody gives you 5-10 seconds to tell them what you do. You build that curiosity. I'm going to ask for your card. And what am I going to do? I'm going to look you up. And if I look you up and you've done your job of building your online influence, you've built your name, then when I look you up, I get to know, like, and trust you. No matter what city you're in, I can find you. So if you create assets, podcasts, books, seminars, workshops, training videos, anything that is online assets, then people can get to know, like, and trust you. So when you're deciding, where am I going to spend my time, which is the most precious thing you have? Where am I going to spend my time next year? Going to a lot of activities? Or, like I've done this year, building assets. You search yourself, and if you've created a lot of activities, you won't find too much. Website, LinkedIn profile, maybe your BNI profile. Now search me. Pete Kane. Put the word podcast in there. There's a couple Pete Kanes, but you can not even do that, and you're going to get 5. Now, people might not like me. That's their choice. They might not be interested in knowing anything about me. That's their choice. But if you want to create an online strategy, if you want to be found anywhere you go to build your business, in any business you're building, build your key person of influence online. Daniel Priestley, let me bring this up. So the 3 things you need to do for next year, if you're focusing on your assets and your activities, and you're saying, which one do I do, an activity or an asset? Think of assets as generating leads. Every time you're generating leads, and you want to, in our business, invite key strategic partners to be on your podcast, because you're building a relationship, you're sharing their story, you're introducing them to your community, and you're doing it creating an asset. So your time's valuable. It's the most precious thing you have. You have 24 hours, so do I. I do 3 days in one. 3 5-hour days in one. So I do 21 days and you're doing 7. Who do you think's going to get there faster? Yep, the person that does 21 days, which is what we teach in our productivity class, our course. So I have a journaling course, a key strategic partner course, a podcast academy course, a goals, mindset, and habits course, level up course. I have 9 courses, 9. Those are assets. So when you're focusing on leveraging your time, and you should, because if you're leveraging your time and you're focused on leads are everything. If you don't have leads in your business, you don't have a business. You have a hobby. Or you have a business that's not going to be around very long, because leads are life. Leads are the blood, the life and blood, the breath of your business. Leads create cash flow. Cash flow creates a thriving community business. You want to be a business of impact. You want to be a key person of influence online. It takes intention, it takes strategy, it takes a marketing strategy that's built on assets. Assets create cash flow. Cash flow is the life and blood of your business. So if you have no cash, you have no business. So generate assets, create leads. And if you're not sure about your 2026 plans, book a clarity session with us. pk.me/clarity. Go book it now. Scan the QR code. It's going to go away here in a second. I believe it's new StreamYard. So scan the QR code, book a clarity session so you can have a clear picture of building assets in 2026 and beyond. The future is bright. It's a long-term strategy. It's playing the long game. What would you rather play? The short-term instant gratification? Get some activities under your belt? It's fine, but you're not going to build the kind of business that's possible. Assets. Assets. Remember assets. Remember your podcast is an asset. A book's an asset. Writing a book, finish it up here in 30 days. A book that'll help people get to know, like, and trust you. That's what a book does. A book is another way for people to get to know you. It's an asset. Assets versus activities. Big difference. Night is your activities. Day is your assets. Man, it's bright. You're going to need sunglasses if you generate assets. If you don't, dark times are coming to your business, and you don't want that because times are changing. We got 6 major trends going on. Entrepreneurial revolution, digital revolution, assets, Bitcoin, crypto, AI, mobile, and personal development. All 6 happening right now. And you want to be able to have the strategy to leverage it. So we will have, just so you can be aware, Monday we do motivation, Tuesday marketing, Wednesday we're going to roll up our sleeves with community, and then Thursday's relationships, Friday is mindset, and Saturday is leadership. We'll either have a guest doing a podcast, because we have Podcast Academy. We train podcasters to use podcasting on purpose and impact. Purpose and impact. You want to make the biggest impact in the world? Come join us. You want to be a key person of influence online? Come join us. Book a clarity session. The future is bright for those that focus on assets. Know the difference. So as we recap, a meeting that you go to, you network, that's an activity. You go to it, you leave, it's over. A podcast is an asset. You do it, you record it, you publish it. It's out there. It never goes away. Now, there's a lot of content going out there, so you got to have a strategy, a purpose. You have a strategy and you know how to leverage podcasting, you'll have a brighter future next year and beyond. Without a strategy, you'll be focusing on the wrong activity. Activity versus assets. Focus on your assets. Have a brighter future. All right, book a clarity session with us and generate leads, create cash flow, and build thriving communities of impact. You can do that with assets. So this has been the Marketing Podcast for Tuesday. Thank you so much for sharing this. Share this with people that need to know the difference between activities and assets. Always want to focus on assets. Assets will grow your business. So be bold, make an impact,